Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let's have a quick knowledge recap or interview questions on EBS. Now let's start with first question. What are the hard disks we call? What are the hard disks called in EC2? What are the hard disks? What are the hard disks called in EC2? What do we call the hard disk in EC2? We call them as volumes. What do we call volumes? Okay, let's have another question. What volumes are those in AWS? What volumes are those? What storage volumes are those? What storage service volumes are those? Those are EBS volumes. Which service volumes? EBS volumes. So let's have another question on this EBS. What is EBS full form? What is EBS full form? I hope you answered this. And in previous video, I have already told you in compute services that we don't call elastic beam stock in short as EBS because there is a storage service in EBS. What is that? Elastic block store. Elastic block storage. What is that? Elastic block storage. Now let's have another question. When you are launching the EC2 instance, a default volume. When you're launching the EC2 instance, a default volume is created or not. When you are launching the EC2 instance, a default volume is created, right? Yes. Default volume will created. Is it true or not? Yes, it is created. Now let's have a question on it. What is the default volume called? What do we call that default volume? What do we call that default volume? What do we call the default volume? We call that default volume as root volume. What do we call that? Default volume, root volume. Let's have another question. Do those volumes can attached and detached? Do those volumes can be attached and detached? Do these volumes can be attached, attachable and detachable? Do those volumes are attachable? Do those volumes are attachable and detachable? Is it true? Yes. Those volumes can be attachable as well as detachable also. Other than default root volume, what do we call other volumes? Other than default root volume, what do we call other volumes? Other than default root volume, what do we call other volumes? Additional volumes. Additional volumes. We call other volumes as additional volumes. Okay. How many root volumes do I have for an instance? That means for a server, how many root volumes can I have? For a server, how many root volumes can I have? Can I have? Only one, right? Only one root volume is possible for a instance or for server. Root volumes are possible, only one root volume is possible. Okay. What does that root volume contains always? What does that root volume contains? That root volume contains operating system. What is that? OS, operating system. Okay. Can we have multiple additional volumes? Can we have multiple additional volumes? Yes, we can have multiple additional volumes. But how many root volumes we can have? We can have only one root volume per instance. Per server, we can have only one root volume, but we can have multiple additional volumes. Let's have another question. What is the maximum size of this EBS volume? What is the maximum size of this EBS volume that we can take for a server? What is the maximum volume size? What is the maximum volume size of EBS volume? What is the maximum size of one EBS volume? What is the maximum size of one EBS volume? At max, you can take up to 16 terabytes. At max, how much you can take? You can take up to 16 terabytes. Okay. What is the default? What is the default EBS? What is the default EBS volume size? What is the default EBS volume size that is provided for Windows instance? That is provided for Windows instance. What is the default volume size that is provided for the Windows instance? What is the default volume size? That is 30 GB. How much? 30 GB. So let's have another question. For Windows, what is the default volume size? That is 30. What about Linux? For how much volume size that by default the CBS will provide? The CBS will provide the default volume size will be 8 or 10 GB. 8 or 10 GB. Now let's have another question. Let's have another question, that is 14th one. Can I able to increase the EBS volume on fly? Can I able to increase the EBS volume on fly? Can I able to increase? Yes, we can able to increase our EBS volume on fly. So now let's have another controversy question on this only. That is, can I able to decrease EBS volume without replacement? Can I able to decrease EBS volume? Can I able to decrease EBS volume without volume replacement? Can I able to decrease my EBS volume without volume replacement? The answer is no. We cannot able to decrease the EBS volume without volume replacement. So let's move on with another question. Till now we have completed 15 questions on the CBS. Now let's move on to 16th question. What is that? We can only decrease the volume by volume replacement. That is, by deleting the current volume that is created and just create the required amount of sized volume and just mount it to the current instance. Okay, let's have 16th question. If I want to modify, if I want to modify if I want to modify 1 MB, 1 MB from 1 MB from 1 GB, then do I need to modify, whole 1 GB? Do I need to modify whole 1 GB, or just modify, just modify only 1 MB? If I want to modify 1 MB from 1 GB in the EBS volume, then do I need to modify whole 1 GB, or just do I need to modify 1 MB? I need to modify. I need to modify whole 1 GB. Whole 1 GB to modify 1 MB of data. To modify 1 MB of data, I need to modify whole 1 GB. Okay. Can I able to detach the volume while instance is running? Is it recommended? Is it recommended to detach the volume? Is it recommended to detach the volume while instance is running? No, it is not recommended to detach the volume while instance is running. So let's have another question. Can I install OS? Can I install OS on the CBS? Can I install operating system? Can I install operating system on this EBS volume? On this EBS volume, can I able to install this operating system? Yes, you can able to install the operating system in this EBS. In which volume you are installing the operating system? In C drive. That in root volume you are installing your operating system. Now, can I run this OS? Can I run this OS operating system on EBS volumes by using server? By using server, can I able to run my operating system on the EBS volumes? The answer is yes. You can able to run your operating system on your EBS volumes. So can I say this EBS volume is best fit for storage for EC2 instance? Yes, because since we can able to install and run our operating system on this EBS, we can say this is the best fit. This is the best fit for your EC2 instance storage. So that's why we are going to use this as our storage for our servers. So let's have final interview question, and as well as certification also. This was mainly asked many times. Let's say you purchased 10 GB. Let's say you purchased 10 GB of EBS volume. Purchasing is nothing but you created 10 GB. You created 10 GB of EBS volume in AWS. Now you used only 5 GB. Let's say 5 GB you use for your project. Now the question is for how much for how much amount of EBS volume, do you charge? For how much amount of EBS volume do you charge? Since you used 5 GB, since AWS provides you pay as you go pricing model, that means how much you use, for that much only you can pay. Do I pay for only 5 GB? Do I charge for only 5 GB? No, you need to be charged for 10 GB. You are charged for whole 10 GB. How much amount of storage that you created, for that whole amount of storage you are charged. So For how much amount of storage was charged? For 10 GB. Okay. Now let's have another question. So what is the backup? What is the backup of this EBS volume? What is the backup of this EBS volume? The EBS volume backup is snapshots. What is that? Snapshot. Snapshot is nothing but the EBS volumes backup. Okay. Is the snapshots are regional or global? Is the snapshots are regional or global? Is this snapshot is the snapshots are regional or global? The answer for this is snapshots are regional. So by using the snapshot, now the question is, our volumes are regional level or availability zone level or global? Volumes are regional, volumes are availability zone level. In which level the volumes are? Availability zone level or regional level or global level? So in which level these volumes will be present? These volumes will be present at availability zones level. Availability zone level. Now the question is, if I want my volume to share to another availability zone, then how can I able to share? By using this snapshots. If you want to share volumes between availability zones, then which service you use? Then what do you do? Then by using what you can share, your volumes in AWS. By using what you can able to share? By using snapshot. By using snapshot, since snapshot is regional, we can able to create the snapshot for this availability zone. So since that is regional, we can able to share it to other availability zone in the same region. Let's say you want to share the volume between regions. If you want to share the volume between regions, then by using what you can able to share? Since the snapshot is which level? Regional level. If you want to share your volume between regions, then what do? Create a snapshot first, that is regional. Then you need to create a copy of snapshot in the region where you want your volume, in the another region where you want the volume. So you can able to create copy of snapshot in the region. From that copy of snapshot, you can create again your volume in that region, and then there you got your volume in particular availability zone wherever you want. So there you can connect with your server, and there you can operate with your server. So this is all about volumes, interview questions and certification questions on volumes. Till now we have learned. So I hope you answered all these questions. The persons who have watched my previous videos can able to answer all these questions. If you have any doubt, please try to watch the theoretical videos which I have provided in the previous, so that you can able to answer these questions whenever any interviewer asks you, or else if you try to write any certification question, any certification from AWS. So I hope this video is useful to you and you have a good knowledge recap from this video. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye.